Welcome to Photos of the Past. We share history's most intriguing images. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. In 1929, America witnessed one of the greatest economic disasters in history, the Great Depression. Unemployment, poverty, and despair affected millions of American families. Many lost their jobs, banks collapsed, and people lost their savings, leaving countless homeless. For the average American, searching for work, finding food, or simply surviving became a daily struggle. Even children couldn't escape the hunger and poverty, as many families couldn't meet even their most basic needs. Charities and volunteers stepped in to provide free meals. But even these efforts weren't enough for everyone. The Great Depression shook America to its core, but it also became a symbol of resilience and solidarity. Now let's begin exploring the stories behind the powerful images of that era. Keep watching the video. In the harsh days of the Great Depression, unemployment was rampant, and this man was desperately seeking work. His sign reads, "I am for sales," pleading for honest labor to avoid starvation. Like millions at the time, he clung to any opportunity just to survive the economic devastation. This heartbreaking photo captures the brutal impact of the Great Depression on families. 4 children sit beneath a "for sale" sign as parents, overwhelmed by poverty, were forced to make unimaginable choices. The Depression shattered millions of American families, leaving scars that would last a lifetime. This man during the Great Depression used a creative method to find work. Fluent in 3 languages, skilled in 3 trades, and a father of 3. He had been unemployed for 3 months. The sign on his back shows his desperation, as he only wanted one job. Millions of people faced similar struggles during this time. During the Great Depression, millions of children, like those in this photo, struggled to survive in harsh conditions. Malnutrition, lack of access to health care, and extreme poverty defined their daily lives. The Depression was an economic catastrophe that profoundly impacted not just adults, but innocent children as well. The Wall Street crash of 1929, known as Black Thursday, marked the beginning of the Great Depression. As the stock market plummeted, millions lost their savings, unemployment soared, and economic uncertainty gripped the world for years. This crash ignited the global economic crisis that defined a generation. During the Great Depression, millions of unemployed people sought ways to survive. This photo shows an unemployed man trying to make a living by selling apples on the street. Priced at just 5 cents, apples were a symbol of desperation. Selling on the streets became a lifeline for many struggling during the economic crisis. This iconic photo, known as the Migrant Mother, is one of the most famous images from the Great Depression. Taken in 1936, it symbolizes poverty and desperation. This mother, struggling to survive with her children, reflects the hardships faced by millions of American families during the country's economic collapse. This photo captures the desperation of refugees fleeing Nazi Germany, a woman fearing for her husband's life, and a refugee who would rather die than face torture, plead for help from America. For thousands fleeing Hitler's regime, seeking refuge in the US was their only hope of survival. These 3 young girls are the faces of poverty during the Great Depression. The dirt and wear on their clothes reflect the harshness of rural life at the time. Children were the most vulnerable victims of poverty, and for many families, meeting basic needs became nearly impossible. This photo was taken during the polio epidemic that swept through America in the 1940s and 50s. Polio left thousands of children reliant on iron lungs to breathe, as the disease caused respiratory failure. These machines were lifelines for children battling the deadliest effects of the virus. During the Great Depression of the 1930s, unemployed men known as hobos rode freight trains in search of work and food. Desperate for a better life, they traveled across the country, hopping from one opportunity to another. These dangerous journeys were a grim reminder of the economic devastation of the era. During the Great Depression, millions were left unemployed and food became scarce. This photo shows desperate men eating at soup kitchens run by charities. These kitchens were their only hope for survival during tough times, and stand as a testament to one of the darkest periods in American history. This heartbreaking photo, taken during the Great Depression, captures the desperation of unemployment through a child's eyes, holding a sign that reads, "Why can't you give my dad a job?" This young boy voices his family's plea for help. During this time, even children felt the weight of their parents' struggle for work. During the Great Depression, unemployment rates soared, and this photo shows desperate men waiting in line at a soup kitchen, offering free coffee and donuts. These charitable efforts were often the only way many people could survive. The long lines symbolized the poverty and hunger that defined the era. This family portrait, taken during the Great Depression, showcases the harsh economic conditions many American families faced. Living in poverty, this family struggled to survive with limited resources but managed to stay together. They represent the hardships endured by millions of Americans during this time.